Hello, welcome to another edition of Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction and the football channel for football and global Man United fans all over the world. We want to thank you for joining us today. It is Tuesday afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to like on our videos, drop your comments, and don't forget to please subscribe to support this channel. Thank you very much. We try to bring you the best. This is the daily news, but we start by going back to what happened on Sunday. United won, Arsenal 3. United lost to the second game in London to Arsenal. But this is the reality. After losing that game, I thought the referee was quite poor. I thought the referee was an absolute clown because of his decisions he made. United, I thought, would deny the clear penalty. You might say it's a bias, but I'm telling you, as it is, that off VAR, I don't think that was right. Even the assistant referee and the season refs have come out to say that goal should have stood. So you can see why Erik ten Hag was upset. But when we go outside of that, United is an absolute circus. That if there's no circus, if there's no drama, and there's no shenanigans, and there's no malarkey going around with Manchester United, there's something wrong. But obviously, this show does never let you down because the fact of the matter is Man United comes with its global fanfare and circus and carnival rise about everything Man United. After the game, Erik ten Hag was asked why he didn't play Sancho, and he said in his words, he said directly, precise and coincides, Man United, Jadan Sancho I wasn't satisfied with his training, and I did not select him, and he didn't make the squad. Jadan Sancho comes back on social media, responds back on Twitter, which now is known as X, says, I trained very well. I don't know what he's talking about. He's a liar, blah, blah. Literally, everything just went completely left. The club have stood by Erik ten Hag and I'm not going to be saying anything in reference to what Sancho said. But is there some underlying issues in reference to Erik ten Hag and Sancho? Is there some? They say there's no smoke without fire. Is there some underlying issues? Remember last year he was sent to Holland to go and get some training, physical and mental assessment and training done. Is there more that we don't know? But we're going to delve deep into, is Sancho a saint or a sinner? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and this channel will definitely break it down where things are with Sancho and Manchester United. As you know, Man United chased him for 2 years from Dortmund. At Dortmund, he was the man of the people. He was the German super flyer. He was the winger. He was the guy who could torment wingers. He made them so dizzy that they went left, they went right. They ended up being discombobulated. He was that guy. He was the man. He was the guy who was going to get people off their seats. When he touches the ball, people want to see what he's going to do, the magic. United paid 79 million for this guy. And he arrived in 2020 after the Euros, where he lost the penalty when England lost to eventual winners Italy in penalty shootout in the Euro finals. But his career did not take off like a jet we all expected. It stuttered. He played under Ole, under Rangnick, under Ten Hag, and we're going to break it down. The guy we all saw wearing those black shorts and yellow shirts like a beehive. He could sting like a bee and dance like a butterfly. We never saw that. We still haven't seen it. And that's where United fans are thinking, what's happened to him? Is it the pressure of wearing this badge? Is it the pressure of being in a club that has astronomical, magnificent, majestical support base who are divided? Man United fans can be very critical. Is it the pressure? Is it the change of management? Is it the change of system? Is it the change of position? We're going to delve back into what happened to Jadan Sancho, saint or sinner. Was he right to respond to Jade? Was he right to call Erik ten Hag a liar, saying he believes he trained well in training and deserves to be in that squad? I think the manager's decision is always the final decision. And he said he's been made a scapegoat. But so let's dive deep into where we are. So we're going to go deep into where we've got some information on Jadan Sancho. Right. We can't dispute. He's a 23-year-old guy. He's young. He's a modern-day footballer. He's got the money, flashy, goes on nice exotic holidays, drives nice Bentleys and supercars. So he's every day's modern-day footballer, whereby he's got the riches, but is he delivering on the field? And Erik ten Hag says he's not. That's why he's not been played. He's had a few injuries, but Is that an excuse why he's not delivering at the level expected after paying 79 million on 350,000 a week? We're going to delve right into that. So let's get some of his stats up. While at Dortmund, after spending 4 years at Dortmund, he scored 137 appearances and scored 55 goals. 50 goals in 132 minutes, which is average a goal every 3 games, literally. But when you look at the stats at United, it's 82 games and he's only scored 12 goals, which is 1 goal every 7 matches, which is poor for his standard. If he's saying compared to the stats he had at Dortmund, it's completely another player. Is it the same player? He's only 23. He couldn't have burnt out that quick. Is it the lifestyle? Is it that super lifestyle, the yachts, the Bentleys, the Mercedes, the Ferraris, the private jets, the flying, the Dubai, the trips? Is all that distracting to the player? We're going to delve deep. Is it the pressure of handling that badge at Manchester United? We're going to find out right now. So, here we go. He did say after that, what Ten Hag said. He said he feels he's the scapegoat, that he's been made the scapegoat for not being selected. There's never been a doubt about his enormous talent. Pep Guardiola said this guy's very talented. His former teammate Emre Can, who also played at Dortmund, and Dortmund managers and club officials, along with Southgate, have all questioned his work ethic and lifestyle choices. When they say work ethic, you need to go in there and work hard. But in his mind, he thinks he's working hard. But the players and the trainers, his managers, from Pep to the Dortmund training team, to Gareth Southgate, to Ten Hag now, to Ole, and to Eric, to Ralph Rangnick, have said his work ethic and his lifestyle choices. Like I said, he's a modern day footballer, likes to fly, a private jets, Dubai, nice yachts, Bentleys, Mercedes, Lambos, Ferraris, going on exotic holidays. It's the typical lifestyle. Social media following, young 23-year-old, 350,000 a week. He's got the money in his pocket. He's the man of the people for who he thinks. But on the field, he is not delivering according to his managers. And now it's Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag has now said he has clearly had enough. Sancho is in danger of following, is in danger of blowing what could have been a very fantastic career at 23. He's no longer a precocious teenager anymore. He's no more a kid anymore. He's now 23. In football age, you're already getting to your prime. At 23, Ronaldo was winning Ballon d'Ors. We're not saying he's Ronaldo, but if you're not going to be Ronaldo at that level, then be the best you are. But at this level you are, the managers are saying it's not good enough. Instead, he has to start to they said he has to start taking responsibility for his actions. Although, judging by his social media post on Sunday, it is unlikely to happen this year. Oh, wow, that's deep. Which means he has still not learned from his mistakes and other accountability that other managers have said in the past that, listen, mate, you need to get it together. You're not training hard enough, but your lifestyle choices need to be adjusted and take accountability for your poor training. That's why you're not being selected. Sancho's United career has hit a new low after Ten Hag dropped him for the trip to Arsenal. United lost by 3 goals to 1, and it's not even about the match anymore. It's now all about Sancho. As I told you guys earlier, we are just a joke of a club. We don't do well in transfers. We don't play well currently, and when we lose, it becomes blown up, amplified, and magnified to the media. And now we have Sancho against Eric Ten Hag. Having been accused of training badly, Sancho came out fighting and swinging and delivering blows, effectively calling his manager a liar, while insisting he had been made a scapegoat. Okay, let's delve into the scapegoat. You have to wonder whether anyone who is actually guiding this guy. Is it the people he surrounds himself with, the hangers-on, the ones they call the yes men, who keep saying, you're the man, you're the man, you're the man? But you've got to also understand, are they deep underlying issues? Is he handling pressure? Can he not deal with pressure? Are there mental issues? When I mean mental, I don't mean mental like that. I mean like the mentality. Does he feel he's good enough to be at United? Does he believe he can deliver and meet the expectation put on those shoulders of a 23-year-old? Like I say, they don't make them like the Ronaldos and Rooney's back in the day. Ronaldo and Rooney joined United at 17 and 17 and a half. But yes, they were a more solid team, a team that had leaders like Keane, Rio, Neville to guide them. But they never crumbled under the pressure. And look at where their careers went. Ronaldo, greatest of all time. Rooney, one of the greatest United players ever to wear United shirt. But there was no social media then. It's not an excuse. You have to apply your work for what you are paid for. He's either not listening or the player needs to speak to another person for better advice. That's what the friend. This is threatening to another disastrous deal for Man. It's threatening to be another disastrous deal for Manchester United, who paid Dortmund 73 million for him in 2021 and committed to a 350,000 a week over 5 years, worth a total of £9 million, which is a lot of money in today's football world. England boss Southgate has never been happy with Sancho's application in training. The same way Ten Hag has lost patience. But for United, the warnings were always there. Liverpool ex-Liverpool midfielder Shan, Emre Can, was a good friend of Sancho. Yet he was angry with his Dortmund pal when he was pictured during the 2020 lockdown having a haircut at home and not wearing a face mask. Teammate Akinji said this. Did the same, and the pair were both fined £8,000 by the German league. Rather than apologize, Sancho called the fine a joke, and he clearly refused to take any responsibility. During the lockdown, they were told to all wear masks. We all know that back in 2020. But he was seen having a haircut, having a fade up. We understand, you want to look fly, you want to look nice, but you are not playing any football. Where were you going? You stay home. But this is where we are. And the German league fined him like, listen, him and Akanji were both fined. And when they find him, he said it's an absolute joke. Okay. At the time, he said for him being fined for cutting his hair when it was locked down, that he was at his home. But the point there is, you are still not following COVID protocols at that time. It seems you don't want to understand or listen to when they say do A, you want to do B. When you do B and you're reprimanded, you say blah, 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 blah. It's called mature and taking responsibility and accountability of your actions. Chan said at the time, Jadan needs a little guidance. He's a great boy, also off the pitch. He just has to be a little smarter about these things. Everyone needs a hairdresser. He needs to grow up. Okay, that was a nice one by Emre Can. He can't afford to make mistakes like that in the future. That was 2020 when he was at Dortmund. During his time at Dortmund, Sancho held the team plane for a trip to Tottenham as he left his passport at home. Okay. He was repeatedly fined for arriving at training late. Sancho was fined £86,000 by Borussia Dortmund for turning up late to training from England duty in 2020 and was made to run alone in pouring rain by Furious boss Lucien Favre, who said, this guy is not taking things serious. I expected everyone to arrive back from tour from the England duties. He turned up late and was fined £86,000. He was forced to train alone by the then boss Lucien Favre. He was competent by angry Dortmund boss for taking a private jet to Dubai with a videographer and was pictured eating a £200 gold-plated steak at Salt Bay's restaurant. So he was fined again, which means after holding the plane down and coming late from England duty and turning up late to training, he took a private jet to Dubai, had a videographer of him, and went and was having a gold-plated steak at Salt Bay's restaurant. The club fined him again. Okay, so you can see a pattern here of breaking rules, not taking accountability, paying the fines, and keep it moving. In another game, he was subbed off after 36 minutes in a 4-0 loss to Bayern Munich and claimed afterwards he felt like a scapegoat. Okay, seems like that seems to be a very a popular word within Sancho about him being made a scapegoat. But is that time he's taking a look at himself like what Michael Jackson? Are you looking at the man in the mirror? Are you looking at yourself? Once again, even before his move to Dortmund from Manchester City in August 2017, Sancho had failed to turn up for some training sessions, and Pep took him off the club's preseason tour to the United States. So this is a pattern. Even Pep said, you didn't turn up to training. We're going on tour. You're not coming. Shift him up to Dortmund. Turning up late for training, going on private jets to Dubai, taking pictures of gold-plated steak at a Sobeys restaurant, coming late from England duty. It's a pattern. It's in chronological order. Once again, when he signed for Guardiola says Sancho engaged, blah, 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 blah. Ahead of joining United in 2021, I think so. Southgate admitted he had not featured so much because his training was not good enough. Southgate said he doesn't think Sancho's applying himself enough in training. This is what you're paid for. This is your bread and butter. This is what the fans want from you. This is what the club paid you for. This is you represent your country. But if your club manager is saying you're not training well, your country manager is playing, then there must be something wrong. The freelance boss took Sancho to one side and urged him to improve his attitude, but clearly he did not take this much serious. Ultimately, Sancho's performance for England has been disappointing with only strongly displayed in a couple of matches. The same applies for United. There have not been any 9 out of 10 performance from Sancho. The truth is, we United fans are we're patient, we're lenient, we're understanding. We want him to be the best. We want him to succeed. But it is obvious he is struggling. It is obvious he's not delivering. He didn't deliver under Solskjaer. He didn't deliver under Ragnick. He's not delivering under Ten Hag. And people are beginning to see that this guy is not applying himself with the talent he has. It's sometimes your personal life filters into your work life. You got to keep them separate. When you're playing, you're playing. But you got to make sure you're delivering on the field. His best moments must have been when he scored that beautiful goal against Liverpool last season. Most fans expected him to kick off from there, but it never was. A bout of injuries and loss of form, he was sent out to Holland, and still his comeback. The new season, he did look sharp in training, but there's lack of consistency. He was given 3 months away from United by Ten Hag in order to work on his physical and mental condition in Holland, as the manager was worried about the player. He returned to the team in February and scored in his comeback game against Leeds, but his form was still nowhere near what was expected. As he now gets to a crossroad in his entire career, and he has two choices. He either fixes his social life and fixes his work life. You can't combine the both together. They run two parallel tracks. Your social life, which is your champagne lifestyle, and your work lifestyle. If you want to combine that, you got to make sure what the club pays you, you got to be delivering every single week. Sancho has to remember, a player can only remain a top player for a certain time. The football career in a footballer's life is very short. Jude Bellingham went to Dortmund, no complaint. Followed protocol, and look at where he's now, Real Madrid, and he's delivering. He is delivering on the highest level. Real Madrid is a club, one of the biggest clubs, if not one of the biggest clubs in the world. Their level of expectation is very high. Even sometimes they used to boo Ronaldo. There was one time they were booing Ronaldo. You know what this guy did to them? He gave them a hat trick in that same game. They clapped him, they cheered him off. They clapped him off like, we are sorry, we're sorry. That was the guy who scored 450 goals in 433 games for Madrid, a record that never will be broken. So, as you can see, there is a chronological order of bad behavior from Man City. Pep said he comes late to training. He didn't train. That's why he was not allowed to go on the USA tour for Man City. He was shipped out to Dortmund. At Dortmund, he was coming late to training. He did not return back from England duties in time. He took a private jet to Dubai. He was cutting his hair with no face mask. So he's breaking rules regularly and not taking responsibilities and accountabilities of his actions. But he keeps saying, I'm the scapegoat. Every time has probably got to the point like, I really don't need this drama. I don't need this. I don't need this. So, was Eric Ten Hag right to say, I didn't pick him because of his application of the training was not good? Gareth Southgate has said it before that his attitude and his training needs to be better. He's not played for England for nearly 2 years. He didn't make the World Cup. After he didn't make that World Cup squad, he went off social media. But you got to understand that these managers are under so much pressure to deliver. And when they have a player who's so talented and not applying himself in daily training and working for the team, they don't have the time to babysit you. You're going to be shipped out. And they don't have the time. They've tried, they sent you to Holland for mental and physical conditioning. But it's the consistency of having to take the time and look at yourself in the mirror. Are you the man in the mirror? You got to fix the man in the mirror. Club versus player. The club has supported Eric Ten Hag and have not responded to Jadan Sancho's scapegoat. He's a liar. They've not responded, and I don't expect them to respond. But Jadan Sancho has got to tread very gently because there's only one way out of Old Trafford. That's the M6, straight down. It's over. There'll be clubs who will buy you, but it's okay. You're young, you're 23. But at 23, in the footballer's age, at 23, you need to start to mature because you play football, you start playing football at 10, 11, you're being academy. So you begin to know where you stand. You did well in Germany. You're an absolute shadow of yourself. There is still hope and there's still time to fix it and be where you can if you apply yourself the right way. From all of us, it's been an absolute pleasure. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Saint or sinner, you make your call. Is Jadan Sancho a saint or is he a sinner? You make a call, drop a comment, and we'll see you later. From me, it's goodbye and good night. Jadan Sancho and Ten Hag. The saga continues.